Welcome here today, Arzuv Čaryjeva, who is our research assistant and specialist to help us to do the open science and what it is about. She will take the floor, and we will as well have question and answers after the talk, and I'm looking forward to the meetings.
Thank you for introduction. A little bit about myself. I'm also a biologist, molecular biology by training, to be specific. And I don't have any background in a law or not lawyer, not business. So please consider this. And I work for the institute and for mainly OPEA project. I don't work for funding bodies. I don't work for repositories. None of them is my interest. So I'm on your side here. I'm here to just help you in a technical steps. What is in my presentation? First, we will make some introduction and definitions, and then I will under requirements and give some tricks and tips and tell you what are more common mistakes and common questions. And then I will introduce Czech national data infrastructure that is fully in your service as a researcher. And then we will have questions and answers. And if there will be time at the end, I will just mention some news in general, global news. What is open actually? The open means to everyone, it's freely accessible, not visible. Use, modify, and share is allowed. Doesn't matter which purpose. So it can be used also commercial purposes. And what is open science then? The open science is a science done by right way. So let's imagine scientific finding or some experiment which somebody published. If it is not reproducible or repeatable, then these results cannot be considered scientifically valid, right? It can be coincidence or just anomaly if you repeat and if you don't get the same result. So what is open data then? Open data is actually defined in a law. So here my point, I don't want you to get bored with this text. It's just a copy of the European directive, secondary law. My point is here just, we always say it's open science principles and policies. Actually, open data, not open science, is actually more than policies and principles. It's in a law. So this is a directive from the European Union about the government data, and there is also a description of the research data. If you will be interested, there are links. I try to put all links in my presentation, which I will share after, so you can take a look if you will be interested. It's also described in a Czech law. So let me tell you that it is translated by AI for me. And this is just one paragraph of the page of descriptions. That my only message is here, just be aware it is described in a law. And what is important for us is actually contract law, which we sign with the funding bodies as a beneficiary of the projects. So we have to follow according to how it is described open in a law. Then open data, okay, but what is a fair data? Because it's also mentioned a lot in the contract or in rules and guidelines and everywhere. Is open data automatically fair? No, not always. Sometimes data can be open, but if there is not enough description, not enough documentation, no enough clear information about license, then it is not reusable, it is not fair. Okay, but what is fair data? Is it automatically open? No, it's also not always true. Data can be open, but the data can be fair, but it cannot be open all the time, especially some data which is under some restrictions, legal. So it requires actually responsible handling. Some data are bound to GDPR or some other issue. So such data need to be closed, but still fair that after X year can be reusable by those people who are allowed. Before start, I also want to go through these Creative Commons licenses because I get a lot of questions about this, and my previous presentation I go very shortly. So I decided to give some more elaboration for this. Creative Commons are user licenses. There are of course many others, but today we will talk about only these ones because these are the most commonly used one for data publication. Let's first understand what is a license actually, and I want you for a moment forget everything you know about commercial licenses because this is something a little different that I'm talking about. License is actually the standardized, simplified, and clear way of how author communicate with the public about his or her data, what he or she allows and what is not allowed to using the data. Creative Commons has icons. It can be expressed by only icons or by terms, or sometimes by just abbreviations. Let's go through. The first one is 0. This is a little special. It's a public license. Whatever is under 0 license belongs to public. So in this case, author or authors dedicate their work to the public and they don't claim any authorship right or anything. This is a little bit different to apply this license in Europe and USA. Because we have totally different law system. They have common law system and we have civil law system, and everything like authorship, author right, copyright, all these things are described a little bit differently. So in Europe, the authorship is automatically protected. So that's why it is not very simple to dedicate any author's work to the public. It's a little complicated situation, the procedure for each situation. But US, it's very simple, just any work of the author, as far as he agrees or she agrees, it's possible to put it in a public domain. The most common example, which will help you understand better, is actually gene bank. Gene bank is originated in USA, and whenever you put there some sequence, it's automatically falling to the public domain. So everybody can reuse it, publish all these sequences without citing the author. So this is what it means. Second one is this man. This is author, and by term it's attribution. The abbreviation is by. So this Panacek here is actually author. Whenever you see this, this means, hey, don't forget to mention original author when you are using this thing. So this is what it means. And after 0 license, all these licenses have this by. So this is what I'm saying, automatically all of them has by, the authorship is protected. What is the others? The next one is no derivatives. Here author doesn't allow you to modify or cut some part of his work or her work and republish. It just doesn't allow any modification in the derivatives. So it is a restriction. And the next one is share alike, this icon and SA. This is a little bit also special because it's not a restriction, but at some point it becomes restriction. It's a condition that here author says, okay, use my work, whatever you want, however you want, but publish the derivatives or derived work in the same way under same license. So it's a condition, and it is actually inherited. If you use something which is under SA license, then it's inherited for the next generation works, the derivative works. And the last one is pretty clear that it is non-commercial purpose. Author doesn't allow you to use their work to make money. So now, how we make licenses, we can combine all these four. Only there are two of them, this non-derivative and share alike, cannot be combined because it doesn't make sense. One says no derivative and second derivative, so it just doesn't make sense. The others is just combined and made all these licenses. You can see it sometimes as this way, or just written in words or in terms, or just abbreviations. And what is required from us by founders? They want us to make the outputs open and publish it in an open way. And here it's in the same time they want us actually protect our authorship. So this CC BY means actually I can sue you if you use my data, if you don't mention me or if you don't cite me. So this is what it means. Or you are free to use it in case if you mention me as an author, I'm fine with it. So this is actually the translation to our language. I would like to really draw attention when you are publishing your articles, please communicate with your editor or whoever you are in contact with in your publishers. Because when you don't explicitly say, we encountered several situations, if you don't say that I want this CC BY license, they automatically put the restricted license. Even if you pay open access publishing fee, because in many journals, if you pay, you are fully, you will have full right to choose a CC BY license with some exception, some journals. Why they put automatically to the restricted one to be on the safe side? Because these licenses are not revocable. It's not revocable from the open one, the least open. But if you choose the most restricted one, then it is somehow possible to open it later by time. And why? Just imagine you publish some data or some article in a CC BY open license, and next day or next year you decided to change it to the closest or one step closer license. And between this time, imagine if somebody or many people use your work considering that it is open license and now it is not. So in that case, you put those people in danger. So that's why it is not revocable, but it is possible to open it this way to the app. We actually encountered several cases. So please, if you forget to communicate with your publisher in a submitting stage or publishing stage, and they automatically put, you can still request the change to open it. We have two cases in Elsevier. They open it after the publishing, and it was okay. So, okay, everything is clear, and how to do it? Like, how to do, if I, like, in case of journals, of course, articles are done by journals. But if I want to publish my poster or my research data, how I will do it? It's very simple. It will take maximum 2 minutes of your time. It's free. You don't have to donate. So you basically go Creative Commons webpage and you click what we do and CC license. There is also public domain. It will require a little different procedure, but we don't care it for now. CC license. You can choose there and you can prepare your statement, which you will attach it to your document. And if you don't know which license actually you need, there is also great helper is a CC license chooser based on 2 questions, what you want to allow or what you want to restrict. It is helping you choose the right license. This is for, of course, the work outside of you want to dedicate for the project. For the project, it's of course clear we need CC BY. So page looks like that. You provide the title or don't provide. This is only depends on you how you want this and appear on the document. So author, year, whatever. And this is the only thing what this web page is doing. It's offering you okay, this is suitable license for your conditions. And it's just preparing this statement which you can copy and put it in your file. And after this moment, after you link it to your file, it's legally valid. So after that moment, your authorship is protected by condition. This is how it looks like in the journals. The journal put it in a usually first page or last page of the article. So this is a statement about the license, and it is linked. When you link there, public or user will get full information about all conditions. So can you tell me which license is this? Creative Commons Attribution. Is it CC BY or what is it? Because this is also a question I encounter a lot that I just told you before. They can be sometimes abbreviations, sometimes just icon, and sometimes it's full name. Of course, this is CC BY license, but it is written this way. So please be aware, and they can be expressed differently a little bit. Okay, now I'm actually starting with my presentation, main part of my presentation, requirements of our grant funders. Here I will be, of course, speaking in English, and I will be using Czech abbreviations. I will say Mishumut and Opeyak, so you will understand what I mean. So first one is data publication. I put it in the first order because it comes first in a whole procedure. So let's go. The Horizon Europe, Horizon 2020 guideline is actually copied by the OPEAC project. So we are bound to follow this policy. And in the first page, it says, please understand, publication of scientific article and research data is a separate thing. They are separate publications. Please understand this. So, and this is actually the difficulty of many people still cannot accept or understand. And after this appears many other questions. What data, which data, all of them, or raw data, processed data, all these questions. And this question is actually to the researcher, because the researcher who did the work can answer this question the best. I can tell this minimum, as a minimum, what data is required to validate and reproduce your scientific finding. So according to that, you can decide what to publish and what you are obliged to publish. How to publish data? We have repositories. We put them in a repository, and it's a data publication. And after that moment, your data is citable, which you can cite it in your article, and it will be linked to your article. Repositories are great helpers for researchers, especially nowadays. Let me tell you one thing. Most prestigious journals, especially, I have checked, and generally, normally, if scientist is publishing some article, scientists are obliged to provide enough proof of how they conclude and how they approve their findings anytime if somebody is contacting them. So this is the automatic rule in many journals. Actually, some researchers is not aware of. So imagine after 5 years, somebody approached you, oh, you published something in the Nature, in a Science, whatever. Can I see this data? And after 5 years, can you find it? Or you just don't care, like me, after publication, you never open it and you don't even know where it is. So for this picture I really like, because it really depicts a situation that the journals are actually making researchers to live with lifetime burden that, okay, I published this, so I have to keep this data because it's proof that how I conclude in this data, in this article. So this is why the repository welcome you to put your data there and be fine. And most importantly, you are able to find your own data after X years, right? So why not to use it? Speaking about repository, please be careful about commercial ones, like Mendeley data. This is the most common example I could point here. It's basically belongs to Elsevier and it is not suitable for our project at all. Please choose non-profit repository. If you don't know, just reach out to me. I will be able to check it for you anytime. It's just a few seconds work. Here, what about supplements? I have a little bit feeling that there are some misunderstandings circulating around, and I feel that this needs a little bit elaboration. So let me explain a little bit. Supplements are part of article, which is already under the DOI, DOI, Digital Object Identifier, so I will pronounce it always DOI. Because it is a part of the article and it is already under one ID, you cannot publish it republish it in other repository. Just imagine if this is a supplement which author put it together, many of the images in one frame, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever, and this is how they present it actually in article. It is not fully publication, it is a little bit presentation. It is how author want to it's also partially your interpretation of the data, that you validate them, you do some analysis or some a graph or so on. And think about, if you publish the image like that together, 6 image, 8 image in one frame in PDF, is it reusable? Or if you put all the 6 images individually in original row, the TIFF file, which one is reusable? You can answer this question. Okay, forget about reusability. I don't care, you may say. You are actually putting yourself in a danger by doing this, because even if your article is open access, CC BY, you can distribute, publish, post it anywhere, it's open access, but only with the same DOI, same journal citation, because it is part of your article. So in this case, you are breaking rule with the journal. After some time, if journal will detect and decide to take some legal action, I have no idea how to defend, because it's clearly written in a journal. You can redistribute, publish, but with only the same DOI and citing the journal, like stating where it was published. So please don't put yourself in a danger. I understand you need data publication, you need DOI. Just give me them separately. I will do it separately. You are totally fine, because they are not same. As far as you don't share it exactly same how it looks like in a supplement or in a journal. So I hope I could explain my problem here.
Sorry, I'm not sure I did understand. So
yeah,
what you're saying, this is an assembled PDF.
Yeah.
There are several different images.
Yeah.
So you need to cite the original.
You have to, in case of the publication, if you want to make it publication in repository, which ministry wants us to have some ID or link, then it is, you have to tell this data is under this DOI, which is given by journal.
Right, but this applies only if you use as it is here, right?
Yeah.
If you take the individual images and use them separately,
That's totally
Then
fine.
that's the different situation,
Yes,
and
it's
you don't
totally
need the DOI. Because you have extracted them from the origin,
Yes.
so it's in a different form. If
It's-
you withdraw this figure,
Put together.
put it, assemble it differently, it's another piece of
Yes.
art, and you can use it. Yeah. So you need to check it to publish it elsewhere. It shouldn't be identical.
I think I have implemented.
So, in the case when we, have no other data than supplement, and ministry wants link to the data repository, then it's okay to take supplement, put them to the node, but use original DOI
Yes.
of the article, and
I don't know, I didn't encounter this. Maybe
Well,
it is.
we can put, just say it already has DOI,
Okay.
but to the table of ministry, we will add the
Can we-
link to
Okay.
the node. And
Yeah.
then they will be happy.
But I don't know how the journal will be happy. Yeah, will you put same, okay, okay,
the same DOI,
so this situation, okay,
Fine.
this situation is also okay, if, as far as you indicate that it's published here, journal is fine.
I think we did write this, 2 times this week, and I'm just not sure if we have new DOI or if we have the same one. New DOI. Okay.
I wanted to keep it anonymized, but it's not only your case, believe me. And since I work for many OPEC projects, we have some of them 10 partners. So I'm speaking about the collection of questions from Olomouc, Brno, the Tomasz Pacha or whatever. So be aware.
More questions to this part of discussion?
I have one more.
Earlier in your talk, you were showing this diagram, how
Like-
the attribution of the, here. So, correct me if I'm wrong, you say we need to communicate with your publisher. But this only applies to journals which are in a hybrid mode, right? If the journal is fully open access, like the ASM journals or blog
No, no, no.
packages and the art blog,
So some journals open access, but also there are options of license.
never happened to me.
Yeah, there are such journals because they have to protect in case, imagine some authors want to publish it in a restricted, they don't want to allow commercial and so on. So they have these options as well. At least I saw several.
Okay,
Not
I will
all
check it
maybe.
because we are, in the last years, we have been systematically publishing this full open access journals like ASM journals or the others. Came with the CCBY license, and
Yeah, I
also any other license in our publication.
I think the publishers more or less know, especially if you have these dedications of the European project, they automatically know, and when you pay, I think they just don't ask. But
So what you are saying that in the hybrid journals, even if you pay for a full open access, if you don't ask for CCBY, it may happen that they will do the CCBY NC or NV or
Yes.
other and this restrictions.
they put it this way if they don't know or they don't care, because it's possible to change. Well, we still have some journal with which one was it? Is I think Wiley journal, they still don't respond, but we had 2 cases with Elsevier journals, and they immediately after signing the agreement of author, they open it.
Well, that's a criminal organization. They are the most profitable corporation in the stock market. They are real assholes.
So, one more question to this topic. We were told by, I don't know which journal it was, but we wanted to pay for more open license, and they told the authors that it's not possible because it's already longer than 6 months after publication or something like this. Do you know about it?
Okay, no, this I don't know.
Yeah, because I have no idea why this time restriction should be important.
Okay, yeah, of course, every journal may have their own different rules, but this I'm not aware. Yeah, okay.
And quite often it happens that the same price applies for CC BY and CC BY and C.
Yes, same price.
And automatically, many people who are not aware of this, they say, okay, CC BY is some open license, and finally we found that it's CC BY and C. But on request, it was possible to change, but in this case, they told us that it's too late.
Well, yeah, this journals, each of them has separate rules and policies, and yeah, it's always beneficiary to communicate them before and be aware. Okay, can we move on? Sorry. What's going back? Data publication. Okay, second, open access publication. This we already know, everybody know that we just spoke about it. We need CC BY license again. There are two main ways of the open access. Gold is known by everybody. Usually you pay, but sometimes not. And open access is provided by the publisher. And it is possible to distribute and publish post everywhere, unless if you don't duplicate the doing. The green way is a little different than gold open access. It's sometimes called self-archiving or auto-archiving. Here, open access is provided not publisher, it's provided by the author, by repositories or archives. And here you don't need to pay payment, but it also sometimes can happen that journal allow you with a lower payment to publish your accepted version of your article. So here it is a little bit different. We are talking about in this case, in gold case, the publisher version of article is, it's the author's version of the article is open access, but publisher version is not. So, wait, sorry. I want to show one recent example. The journal allowed us to post the open access accepted version, which is author's version of the article. Here also, the old journal, which is allowing this procedure, they say as institutional repositories. They don't like large repositories like Zenodo because they have larger audience. They still want to somehow prefer smaller audience. So if this is the case, so feel free, it is possible to do it in ASEP. So we put here our author version, and it is also conditioned to have to put their link to the final version. And this is actually also the interest of author, because author want to collect the citations to the final version. This is how it looks like. So the text is the same, identical with the publisher version and author version. It's basically the Word file when you get accepted the information from your publisher. So it's totally up to author how they want to design the layout and all this paging or this formatting. And this is actually something which I did because the author says, I don't care, and we believe you. So this, I was trying to put different format for abstract and so on. And also authors want to put this notification here that this is a peer-reviewed, revised, accepted article, but the final publisher version is here. And when you click the link, you see only abstract, and the rest is not free. So this is another example of green open access. There are also other ways you may consider. There are some directory which you can find all the open access journals and their conditions in a directory of open access journals. And there is also the opportunity to use the transformative agreements, coordinated by the Czech elite, and we have some agreement with some publishers, and we have two tokens to use as a theme. Third, number 3, it is a preservation of the already published copies, the published articles. So this also may sound with many people like unnecessary procedure. Why we do that? Because it is already open, it is accessible in journal's webpage, and everybody can access and download it. Why we do that? But nobody can guarantee that this will not happen to your journal or your article after X years. So this is why founders want us to preserve copies. For that, in our institute, we use ASEP database operated by the Library of Czech Academy of Science, but also other universities, they have their own system how to archive their own publications. So this is also mandatory for our project. Okay, so we spoke all these 3, and now I would like to go to in order, step by step, because I saw a lot of cases that people are doing it retrospectively, and then it is boring for them. And as you may also understand, as I also had few years experience in research, once I had the published article, I don't want to look at my data or anything. So after publication, so it's always good to do it also before. First, data. First you put data, and repository will generate a DOI or database will give you accession number, permanently URL, whatever, and then you cite your data in your article that your data is linked to your article. So in the second step, you link it to your article. Please don't forget, there is a data availability statement in a format of many journals, particularly stated in rules of the founder, but this is a good practice. They mentioned linked data, but so far nobody checked articles in their data availability statements. But it doesn't mean that they will not be checking it, because let me say you some information that now ministry is actually employing 2 open science specialists. One is substitute for the current one is going to maternity, and one extra mainly for OKR project. So don't rely that they didn't check it. It doesn't mean they will not check it in the future. So just let's do it right way. And then public open access. And then ideally, this is also a little bit the researchers' interest, at least for now, for a few years. And maybe in the future it will change, because we will have data publications becoming more common practice, and researchers will be getting credit and indexed by the publications of their data. So this is another little bit broad topic. So ideally, go back to your data where you put it in the archive or something, and provide there the link where it was published. Some repositories doing it automatically when they detect only if you cite it in your data availability statement, then it's possible for them to detect. And some of them don't do it, so it requires sometimes manual doing. Okay. When I say first step is data, many of them can be worried about being scooped or stolen data. Don't worry, almost all repositories I know are offering restricted option. Nobody will see your data, nobody will download your data, but they can only see title and author's affiliation and so on, whatever you provide. But you still have functional DOI, which you can put it in your article. You can use this option, and you can also use the embargo after 10 years or whatever. After 10 years, you compare basically your data, right? So please feel free to use it. And if you need any technical support, I'm here almost every day in this Kerch campus. Okay, we keep it restricted. Nobody can see our files, but my reviewer, because I have functional GUI, which directing to the page, but my reviewer cannot see my file, and he wants to see it. There is an option, I'm giving example for Zenodo, but it's also option for many other repositories. You can create secret link, which you can share with only particular person. That person will only see and download your data, but still he will be notified on a page. You are seeing, okay, but hey, careful, this is restricted. So this is also a good thing how the reviewer can be aware of it. It looks like that. You can just, it's totally under your control. You can set up expiration date, or you can anytime delete it, the secret link. You can control access types, so on. Now, I'm more or less done. I would just show some examples. You may find it boring, so after this point, it will be not boring. Sorry, there will be many questions and examples. Here is one recent example that how they put how they follow this step by step in order. So first we did Zenodo, and in this case, actually, they didn't keep it restricted way. What they did it right the moment when the journalist asking final, or your article is accepted, you want to change the final anything. They did it right that moment, and then they just send it, because they know they don't care if somebody is still after this point their data, because it's already the accepted data or not. So this is how they did, and their data, when you click the link, is there, just possible to download. This is good example. Another example, all data doesn't have to be in one repository, because in one article we have many different kinds of data, right? So GitHub, for example, is a special for codes and we don't like to put software in ourselves, right? So this is a good way how scientists share their code. So Zenodo and GAO is very specific. You don't want to put the data somewhere else. It suits there the best. So also we have some unfortunately bad examples. That this is the example precisely how a researcher published their data retrospectively, because at the beginning he or she probably doesn't even aware of this sentence, and I really recommend avoiding this sentence. It is not good. Just I would recommend put it empty, let it empty, then writing on request. But actually, this is not true. They have data in Zenodo. So the only thing is they did it retrospectively, and they don't have chance to link their data to their articles. So this is why data is the first. Another funny example, I was browsing in asset, scientific data, open access, CC by large zip file, and published in this article. Okay, everything is good. And then I was interested, actually, who pushed them to do that? So I was checking that it's probably some OPR project. And actually, they have more projects, this European, like Marie Curie and other. And what I see is another funny example that they say, all data is in this article. We don't have anything else, which is not true. They have actually here large zip file. So this is also work done by retrospectively and have no chance for linking. Another example, how scientists just put there the link to their data. Now we are done with the main part of what researcher wants, the co-founders want. They have one more task for us, mandatory, but this will be, I will be coordinating, so you don't have to be worried about. I will just mention we have this great tool developed under the Czech National Data Infrastructure. So I will be coordinating this, don't worry. So One last note is we also have some non-mandatory open science practices, preprints. You know the benefits are highly encouraged, not mandatory, but in a reporting form in OPEAC, there is one column about the preprint version of publication. It says, do you have preprint version? Put their link. If you don't have, please explain why it wasn't possible to publish it earlier. So it's not easy to explain, especially for me, because most of the journals are fine with preprint. So you have to find some reasonable reason. And the second one is open peer review. It's also relatively new practice, I would say. Has many advantages. Your article is basically open till that moment you submit, and reviewers and authors know each other, and their comments or criticism, everything is basically open. It has many advantages, like this can encourage some discrimination, and actually some reviewers are willing to do it because they are acknowledged. So your article will be somehow processed faster, and you have full access to follow all these comments and what is happening. Second part, I would like to introduce very briefly the national data infrastructure, because all this ministry require us to do this, so they have to also provide some capacity, right? So this is what we have in Czech Republic currently. We already have several repositories. ASEP is also part of national repository platforms, and few repository will appear and launch in this year, like Czech bioimaging and biodiversity and so on. This is how is the current stage, and we have all basically the resources free for researchers to use, especially the computing, the high HPCs, and you may wonder where they are actually, all these storages, how they are actually geographically separated in Czech Republic, so you can see in a map how they are. Little bit some technical things, they are integrated with these tools and some other features. I would like to share, there is a training about these infrastructures. If you are using the processing the large volume of data, please feel free to attend this course. It's for you, and it is the supercomputers are also in your service. Please feel free to use them. This is how it looks like, our national metadata directory, which is launched in actually the last year, 24. What is it, metadata directory? Do you have any idea what it can be? It's basically, you can think about it like the address book, because data is not stored there, but all metadata is there. Just imagine when you want to find something, you sometimes have to search it separately. You go to another search it, you go to PubMed search it, you go to ASEP search it. So this is precisely for that purpose. This is harvesting all metadata, including link and identity. So everything can be found here, and it will just direct you in which repository it is. It's in ASEP, it's in NCBI, or it's in whatever. Catch-all repository, many of you already know, it's functional, and it is for any type of data and multidisciplinary. So, and sensitive cloud, I don't know how many of you actually work with patient data. Is there anybody working with sensitive data? So this is for such projects that they can collaborate. They have this storage, which is very secure, and they can process and share their data among the project members. So if you want more information, please contact me. Czech Infra says that all these services are for the research ecosystem in Czech Republic. So please feel free to use them. Some brief news about the ASEP. ASEP had few news in this recently and planning something. ASEP planning to launch the preprint platform, so you will be able to publish your preprint there if you prefer, which I don't think will be most of the case. And they have integration with DOI, Orchid, and they have integration for the tool for data management plan. Thank you for your attention, and I'm afraid we don't have much time, but I would like to hear questions.
Thank you so much for it.